Hey y'all, it's your girl Tia Like Gonna Be Me, and today what I am going to be making for you guys is some barbecue pork steaks in the oven. The vision that I have is to make my pork steaks just like I would make barbecue ribs. So the ingredients you're gonna need is apple cider juice, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, barbecue sauce of your choice. I have some Holy Smokes barbecue rub. I have some parsley. I have an onion, bell peppers over here on the side, and seasoning salt of your choice, okay? And black pepper. And that's it. That's all you're gonna need for this recipe, y'all, to get these ribs together. Make sure you have you a pan and make sure you have you some foil. I'm going to show you the steps to how to make these pork steaks, and you take what I gave you and you incorporate it into your recipe and make it your own, because honestly and truly no one can give you accurate measurements. Reason being is because the amount of meat that each person uses is always going to be different. So I can't tell you exactly how much seasonings to put on there, but I can guide you in the right direction. Okay, so let's get into this video. Another ingredient that you're also going to need is use some bell peppers. This is optional, you don't have to use it, but I'm just using them for the colors. All right, family, starting out, I'm going to take a tablespoon of each one of my herbs that I showed y'all. And like I said, you can go with a seasoning salt of your choice, but the seasoning salt that I am going to be using is Tony's Creole seasoning. So I just make it basic and easy for y'all, just in case you can't find certain seasonings in your area. I know 9 times out of 10, Morton Seasonal or Tony's Creole seasoning is everywhere, y'all. So let's just go on with the Tony's. All right. So we got the Tony's Creole seasoning. This is optional, but see if you could try to find it if you have a flea market, if you have a store that sells seasonings. Body is the brand. You might can find this on Amazon. I'm quite sure. You might can find this on Walmart website. I'm definitely sure you can find it there. Just look for this seasoning right here, y'all, if you want to use that, okay? But this is optional. I like to use this whenever I'm doing like a barbecue, something in the oven. Now, for the black pepper, I'm going to use about a teaspoon of black pepper, and I'm probably going to use about a teaspoon of the Tony's, just a little teaspoon of the salt, and that's it. All right, so now I'm going to get all my seasonings that I have mixed up in here onto my meat, as much of it as I need, but keep in mind it's low in sodium because we didn't use that much salt, and everything else that we used was a herb. So I know for a fact it's not salty even if I do use all of it. So let me get all the seasoning on the meat, the bell peppers in the pan, then we'll move on to the next thing. Y'all, I forgot one last thing. When I'm baking, cooking meat and stuff like that, frying meat, it don't matter. I like to put mustard on my meat. So I'm going to put some mustard all over the meat along with the seasonings and mix everything together. Don't put a little bit, okay? Put a lot. Because you want to have enough to put all over your meat and stuff like that. It's not going to make your meat taste like mustard. Mustard give your meat its own flavor. Mustard have a flavor besides tangy mustard flavor. When you put it on meats, they have its own different. It just make everything come together, y'all. You just got to try it if you have. After adding the seasonings, this is what you got. You just add until you feel like you have enough. And to taste, to make sure you have enough seasoning on your meat, you can swipe the meat just like that and just give it just a little taste to make sure it's salty enough. And I'm comfortable with where it's at, so we're going to stop. I didn't use all of it, but I used the most of it. I only had just about a tablespoon of it left. Yeah. So we're just going to throw it on there because it ain't salty. So I'm just put the last little bit on there. And I used all of those seasonings, so now y'all know just use all. Well, you ain't going to know that because like I told y'all, you're going to have different amounts of meat. So you just take what I give you and then go from there, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to straighten the meat out of the pan, and we're going to add our bell peppers and our onions and all that stuff on the bottom and on the top. Okay, this is what I have after straightening up in the pan, adding the bell peppers and onions on top and some on the bottom layer of it. So now I have about 1.5 cups of apple juice, and I'm going to pour this apple juice around the pork steaks. I don't want to pour it directly on top because that's going to be washing the seasonings off. So I'm just going to take this cup and a half of apple juice, and I'm going to be adding this to the pan around my pork steaks, like so. All right. Moving on to make sure that the liquid get down in the bottom of the pan, so that when this cooks, that apple juice is just going to steam, and that flavor of that juice is going to get throughout all this meat, y'all. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, cover it tightly with some foil or a foil lid, put it in my oven on 425 degrees on the bottom rack so it can cook fast. And when it gets to the point where it's almost done, or where I'm coming checking it, I got to come and check it. I'll come back and show y'all what it's looking like, okay? So basically what you want to do is let this cook until it's tender. Your tender may not be your tenderness may not be at the same time of my tenderness, but you want this to be fork tender. All right. Okay, family, just cover it tightly with foil like this. You do not need any holes in your foil, and just put it in the oven just like this on the bottom rack. All right, family, so this is what the pork steaks is looking like after they is done. They is fork tender, y'all. Look, tender. This is what you want right here. You want them to be fork tender. When they get to that point, after you done check them, however many times you done check them, this is my first time actually checking them. And I can't really say how long I had them in the oven because I got other stuff going on. But that is what you're looking for, that type of tenderness. So what I'm going to do is now is dump some of this juice off of it, because I don't want my meat swimming in water. But I don't want the pan to be dry in the bottom. So I'm going to dump some of this juice off, and I'm going to put my barbecue sauce on there and then put them back in the oven. And that is it for these pork steaks. First time. Alright, so y'all got some good lighting this time. But yeah, this is what the pork steaks look like. I done pulled some of the juice off of it. So now we're about to add the barbecue sauce. And I added a little water to it to help it on out, to stretch it. So we just going to put some barbecue sauce all over these pork steaks. And then we're going to put it back in the oven so that the barbecue sauce and everything gets sticky on. So let me do this, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like after you get the sauce on it. So now we're just going to stick them back in the oven just like this on the bottom rack until it all gets sticky, uncovered. Okay, family, this is the end results to the barbecue pork steaks in the oven. Something that you can have on your holiday table along with all your other dishes. I hope y'all like this recipe, and if you try it, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about it. Peace, love, and many, many blessings to each and every one of you guys, and happy holidays.